What's up, everybody? Mitch Asser here. Welcome to this review where I'm going to talk about how I created the world's largest online fasting event while generating over 35,000 leads and $120,000 in sales just from the summit alone without relying on affiliates. So this is for anybody who wants to produce this online summit, who wants to become an authority in their space, or doesn't want to rely on affiliates anymore, because when you stop relying on your affiliates to build your business, you take full 100% control, and I'm going to show you how you can actually do that as well. So if you're not reading this within this blog post that I've actually got on screen for you right now, then you should be able to find the link around here somewhere. But I'm going to run through this post. I'm actually going to give you some bonus information that's not included in this post, like a view of our membership area and a view of our homepage for the Fasting Summit as well, which you may not be able to see depending on when you're looking at this right now. But first up, Facebook and virtual summits go hand in hand, and that's my thing, right? I've been doing this now for over 3 years. I've produced 7 summits, most of them for our own personal business, and that business has grown into, within the health and wellness space, it's grown into a multiple 6-figure business. We'll do multiple 6 figures this year, which is really exciting for us, but it's also it's something that we expect now. This last summit, for example, we had everything go wrong possible, and we still did a $50,000 launch, which was great. However, the benchmark is so much higher now, and that's sort of what we're reaching for as we continue to do these events. So why online summits and why the fasting summit? Basically, this isn't mentioned in the blog post, but I love learning, right? And I love connecting with people and having really great conversations with people. And when I found out that I could monetize that, it was a really great moment, because it was doing everything that I loved. I could do a topic that I loved. I could speak with people that I admire and that I've learned from in the past, and continue to learn from, and I could have a really great conversation with them. And this is what the virtual online summit method does, or even an in-person summit, is you meet with these people. Typically, like, we've never had to pay a speaker. We've done over 120, 130 interviews between me and my sister, and we've never paid a speaker a single cent. Most people who if you can get them in front of their audience, their desired audience, they're more than happy to give you 30 to 60 minutes of their time so that they can get their name out there, right? And a lot of our speakers have picked up clients, they've picked up sales for programs, they've picked up hundreds, if not thousands, of email subscribers from being a part of our events, and which is really cool, because it's a win for everybody, right? We win because we get to share the message that we want to share, and build the business that we want to build, and make the impact that we want to make. Our speakers win because they're getting sales and recognition and brand awareness, and the people who are watching win as well, because they're getting a solution to their pain point, right? And that's ultimately what we're going to get into in a moment. Is the number one thing when following and creating a virtual summit is that you need to hit a pain point and solve someone's pain, right? There's a lot of summits these days, especially in the health space. There's at least 2 or 3 brand new ones every single week. And the ones that do the best are the ones that solve the biggest pain points, or something like that, because the ones that do the worst are sort of like the fluffy ones, right? So like how to have a happier life sort of type ones, where they're really general and people are like, yeah, sure, I want that, but it doesn't really solve a pain point. Whereas, with fasting, a lot of people know I can lose weight, I can heal my illnesses, I can reverse disease, I can ultimately, take my consciousness to another level. People realize that with fasting, which is why we hit on a lot of different pain points for different people, and that's why our events are so successful. The other ones are like, some of the biggest ones in the health space are things like diabetes, finding, how to reverse diabetes, or gut health is another big one. So when you find something that really solves these big problems, then that's when people are going to want to be engaged. It also makes your marketing much easier as well. And before I go any further, I should point out that I want to give Navid Moazes a shout out. I'm friends with him. He's a client now, and I'm a client of his. So we've got this really great relationship, but we were actually buddies before he even got started online, which is really cool. And he's someone that I've learned all of this off. And sure, I've done a lot of my own testing and developed my own certain practices and guidelines since following his Virtual Summit Mastery system. But if you are someone who just wants to implement this and doesn't want anyone else to do it for you, then go and buy his program, and it will save you a ton of time and failures along the way. And then, you want to have, so we've talked about this. So we talked about the number one thing is you want to solve a pain point, and then you want to create a great strategy and hook. So let's have a look at this. So this is our webpage. I've zoomed out, so let me just zoom in one. So here's our hook. Discover this free series featuring doctors, nutritionists, and fasting experts as they reveal the truth about how fasting affects the body and the surprising solutions that can help you heal. Who doesn't want to do that, right? Especially if you're in a crisis right now and you've heard all the different ways that talk about how you can heal your body, but they never seem to work. Whereas, we've got this hook where it's surprising solutions, and they are surprising. It's not just a headline, right? There's a lot of amazing things that happen when you stop eating food. So that's our hook, right? And as you can see there, the design's pretty good. We've got some good social proof, and then we're giving people instant access to some actual content, which is pretty good, right? So, and then the execution plan. So that's the next step, is you want to be thinking about how many speakers you're going to have, when will these interviews take place? How are you going to get them out into how are you going to structure them? And always have a backup plan. If there's one thing that I've learned, is that you always need some sort of backup plan, or you need to have somebody on your team who knows summits inside out, or you need to know how to do it yourself so you can fix problems very quickly and very, very easily. Because if you're relying on a programmer or a designer who's not there 24/7 throughout the launch like you would be, then things can go wrong. And then, time is money, right? And especially in a launch scenario, we had a website go down for 24 hours. That cost us that one day at least $5,000 to $6,000 in sales, in revenue, that we were relying on to continue our ad budget. Now, I'm not going to get into all of the reasons why this happened, and it wasn't our fault, but I need to take some responsibility, right? But ultimately, some mistakes we made this last summit I just did cost us about $60,000 to $100,000 in revenue, all because of things that went wrong. So having somebody on your team like myself, for example, and I do this work if you want it done for your summit, but having someone who has some experience in launching multiple summits and who has gone through these hardship times can be a tremendously valuable asset to your team. And if I was to do anything again, I would have someone on my team from day one, because it would make my life a whole lot easier, and we'd probably be at a 7-figure business by now instead of just making a couple of $100,000. So moving on, creating great summit pages and branding. This is super important, and if you don't do it, you will fail. I promise you that. Not only that, make sure the person that you hire produces really great quality work. I've come into summits before for clients, and they've had people design their website that it just looks crap, and I'm not going to try and sugarcoat it. That's simply how it looked. And I was like, we can't promote this because it's not going to convert. I need to do some work for you. So I jumped in and redesigned the whole website when it wasn't even my job. I was supposed to just be doing ads. So likewise, we've agreed to help really great people with really great content promote their events as affiliates. But when we look at the website, it's just no good. And it's sort of like different fonts and different colors, and the spacing's all messed up. So I don't even consider myself to be a great designer, but the websites we design are pretty damn good, in my opinion, compared to what's out there anyway. And not only that, you can tell that it's good because ours converts anywhere between 50 to 70% in some cases, for the health summits that I've worked on and some of the other ones as well. So the conversion levels are high, which means people are really impressed as soon as they see it, which is so important these days. You have to have great branding and a great website. And then, let's get into this. So reaching out and landing your speakers. I got tagged in this post by a friend, John Schumacher. He's also a speaker on my next summit coming up at Profit School. But he talked about how not to reach out to people, because he continues to receive emails like this. We continue to receive emails like this in the health space, where people reach out to you, very first email, you've got no idea who they are, and they're saying, hey, I'm doing this summit, it's going to be great, I'm going to reach that many people. The way I'm going to reach that many people is all of our speakers need to have at least an email list, at least 5 to 10,000 people. You have to send 2 solo emails. You have to promote on social media 3 times. You have to be willing to write a blurb, and all of this stuff is like, no way. You know, you're trying to get married on a first date. We don't ask any of our speakers to promote. That's the truth. Actually, we even go as far to say, when we're reaching out to them, we say, hey, we want you to be on this event because we think you have great information. We love what you do. We're a fan of your work. We've been following you for years. And we do not want you to promote. Who does that? Us. And that's why we've produced great events in the past and continue to produce great events in the future. And you want to know a little secret? When you reach out like that, and more people say yes than if you were to try and make them do something anyway. And we definitely don't expect people to do that, and it's not a trick that I tried to think up from the beginning. It's just happened that way, and it's because we have a genuine approach in building our business, and because we are willing to invest $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 in each summit, because it's a business, right? And when you're willing to invest in your business, the people you collaborate with are willing to invest in you. If you're not getting the success that you want right now, consider it's nothing but a reflection of how much you're committing to yourself. If people are not committing to you, it's because you're not committing to yourself. And you really need to commit. If you want to build a big business, then you need to commit to it ultimately. And sure, go ahead and test different summits and test your offer and all of those things. We definitely did that. But when you find something that works, spend as much money as you can amplifying that up as quickly as possible, and using Facebook ads as well is definitely going to help you do that, which I can show you more on soon. And I even added in this screenshot here is I'm putting together the Ad Profit School this year, and I'm not going to mention the speaker because I want to keep it private while I'm still putting this together, but this was his reply when I did exactly what I'm just talking about right now. He says, hey man, really respect the way you reached out to me. Literally the best cold reach out I've ever received. Kudos. Keen to get involved, let me know what's next. Also happy to film some micro content to help you promote the event via Facebook ads. So not only is he going to promote, but he's also going to spend his own money to promote the event on Facebook. Pretty cool, right? Then you want to deliver a great event. Content is king, but great content is like the top of the mountain, right? If you've got great content, people are going to buy, they're going to stick around, they're going to you're going to build a community. And then advertising. Advertising is my favorite part. It's the number one reason for our growth. And Facebook, is really changed my life and my business, and it's allowed me to start a business helping other people achieve the same results that we do. And I've got clients in multiple different niches right now, and the 5-step strategy that I use to promote summits works in all of them. And yeah, there's not much more I need to say about that. And then monetizing. So basically you're going to give people access for free. If they want to get lifetime access, they can upgrade, plus you give them a few bonuses. If you want to hear the exact strategy, go ahead and read this post and you'll be able to see it. But this is what our membership area looks like. And it's super simple. I've tried to go for like a Netflix feel, where they can click into any of these sessions. It showcases all of our speakers here and what they're going to be talking about, and has all of that information there. We also have a few speaker bonuses which we add in, which are available for members only, which is really great to add into the package to add up that value and make it more desirable for people. And then we get people to, we give them action guides and MP3s, so it's more convenient for them to view each session as well. So we keep it super simple but really effective, and it's sort of what people want to see these days is like they're conditioned to have like the Netflix style membership area, so we do that. And then once they click into the page, they can watch it there, download the MP3 and the action guide from here. All really simple stuff, but people try and make things harder than it is, and the truth is it's so much easier to get up a summit than you think, as long as you've got the right people on your team. So definitely do that. So the results that we've had from the fasting summit, and I wish I had kept this all on one platform so I could show you a very easy screenshot. but I've moved after every single summit. I've made my own life really difficult, and I'll continue to evolve over time. But basically, from the records that I've kept, is the first fasting summit, we did over 6,000 people registered, 190 sales. But this is where Facebook ads really took off for me, and I really understood it on a much deeper level. So this is just a screenshot of that time period where in 2016, you can see some really great results here. We're in a cost per website subscriber for $1.07. We had over 3,500 leads from Facebook, and a website return on ad spend of 5.16, which means for every dollar we were spending for this summit, we're making $5 in return. And I wish I understood Facebook so much more, because I would have spent so much more money at this time, back when the leads were really epic, right? Fasting Summit 2 was we reinvested as much as we possibly could into the next one. At the time, I was still working in a full-time job because I wanted to invest as much as possible without any pressure for this event. And we did just over 15,500 subscribers for this one, generating 914 sales and $55,000 in revenue. And we had about $20,000 in costs, so there was quite a high profit margin in that as well. But this is where I took my Facebook ads to another level and started to understand a bit more of the strategy behind it. And while the return on ad spend was 2.12, not as big as last time, we spent much more money, and we spent $12,000 to make almost 26. So there was still like a great margin there. And if you're spending $1 to make $2 on a summit, on a front end sale, then that's still super cool, right? Most people would love to break even on their front end sales. There's thousands and thousands of businesses who are losing money on them front end sales and are happy with that. So when you understand the power of business and the power of your long-term value of your customer, then a $2 return for every dollar spent is really valuable to you. And then Fasting Summit 3, it's still, I could possibly break down in tears as I talk about this one, but we had an ad account shut down for no fault of our own. If you ever used iDev affiliate or thinking about it, don't. They're the worst in the world. I'm happy to go on record and say this, that I've never been happy from the beginning, and this was their last straw. They didn't advise us of any updates. Some friends who used them, they didn't advise them of their issues that they had and their updates that needed to be attended to very quickly, and we picked up a malware issue from their software, even though it wasn't even on our website. So that caused a whole heap of issues, including tens of thousands of dollars in lost revenue, probably even six figures in lost revenue. It caused our Facebook account to get shut down, and caused a lot of distrust within some of our customers as well. So don't ever use them, and if you hear someone talking about iDev, steer them the other way. But even still, we were within a short period of time, we were able to spend $12,000, and that still resulted in $8,000, and that still resulted in $12,000 in revenue. And we're going to spend 40, so just you can do some numbers there, and I'm not going to talk about this one anymore. But even still, this is the punchline of this Fasting Summit 3, right? We had everything possible go wrong, and we still did a $50,000 launch, which just 2 years ago, I was only ever dreaming about doing that much. So it just shows you that as you continue to invest and have higher benchmarks, you still hit those benchmarks when those things go wrong. And having, a successful system around you where you can still make money from your emails and your affiliates, and having a great relationship with your affiliates, then these are not much of a big hit like they could be in the past. We've also turned between Fasting Summit 2 and 3, I turned it into an evergreen funnel just to pick up any leads that were sort of just lying around while we're putting together the next summit, and we still generated another $7,000 from doing that. Sure, the overall conversion rate was 3%, about half of what we normally do, but still really great for an evergreen funnel. I'm actually working with a client right now, and hopefully I get to do a case study with their account very soon. But for the last 6 or 7 weeks, we've been generating on average 1,000 subscribers per week while still being profitable, which is amazing. Imagine if you had an evergreen summit and you could generate 1,000 leads per week while breaking even or being profitable. You'd have an email list of 50,000 people at the end of the year. What's that worth to you? If you were to do a launch to those people and build up some like and trust and give them great content and all of those things, that's worth hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to you. So this is just the power. This is just one thing that you can do with a summit when it becomes successful. So what's next for us? We're going to be working on more summits. The biggest thing though is what we've not done in the past is having some back-end sales that work. So we're working on some offers and different programs and things like that to maximize our subscribers, because there's no point in having a massive subscriber base if you're not generating revenue from them to cover your costs at least every single month, and building a business that can make more impact. And ultimately that's excuse me, that's what I'm looking for, is to make more impact in the world. It's not even about the money for me anymore. I live in a little studio apartment. I've got two businesses that make, we'll probably do over 300,000 in revenue this year. And I live in a small little studio apartment that most people would never live in, because it's not about money for me. All I need is a place near the beach, good food, good conversations, great people to be around, and some sunshine. And I'm happy. I don't have a lavish lifestyle. I hate shopping. And I don't even own a car. I get around on an $80 bicycle whenever I need to go somewhere, or jump in an Uber or catch the bus. I don't live a lavish lifestyle. I'm all about impact. I want to leave a legacy in this world. I want to be, and it's not even about ego. It's just about doing something better for the world. And I believe that the world needs more good people, and I want you to be the next good person doing more good in the world, which means generating more revenue for your business so you can continue to reinvest in that business and grow it to make a larger impact. And ultimately, if I can help a bunch of people who helps millions of people, then I'll be pretty happy. And I wake up every day at 5 a.m. excited to get to work, because this work fulfills me. And I'm looking for people to work with who have the same philosophy as well. So if that's you, and if you are interested in chatting about how I can help you with online virtual summits or Facebook ads, and so that you can become an authority in your space, charge premium prices, and ultimately generate more leads, make more sales, and do more good in the world, then get in touch, because I'd love to have a chat with you. And even if you decide that working with me is not a good fit, then I would still love to leave you with some of my thoughts and feedback and information around how you could potentially grow your business as well. And maybe we'll become friends and have a great supportive network. So get in touch if that's you, and if not, leave some comments down below. If you have any questions, I'll definitely get back to you, or an email or a chat, and I'll get back to you as well. So hope you enjoyed this. If you want more of these, let me know so I'll know to continue to do them. But hopefully we'll catch up soon. Bye-bye.